Hello, I am Pam and this is my channel, Made by Pam. So, I made a card wallet. Isn't that beautiful? And it has a little back pocket and it's two-tone. So, I am going to show you how to make one of these. Are you ready? Okay, so I have this fabulous, it's a fox leather fabric sheet that I got in a kit from the thrift store. It was like a leather earring making kit. But when I got it, I was like, oh, that is going to be absolutely perfect to make a card wallet for my sister. It's just the right flexibility. It has, plenty of stretch, enough stretch to, fit all those cards that we tend to carry. So, first thing, we're going to need two pieces. So, I have two sheets, and I have a brown and a light brown. This one, I had like the gold and like the copper. So, we're just going to use these two colors. And I'm just going to lay them like the fleece side together because I'm going to kind of cut them together. So first, we're going to want to cut this like 4.5 inches wide. And then like a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so let me go ahead and move you down so you can watch. Alright. So here we have our pieces. I'm just going to kind of line it up on my thing. And we're doing a 4.5 inches. So I have my giant ruler here. And I have a 4.5 inch marking. So I am just going to... yeah. How I'll do it. There's just no easy way to do this when you want to line it up on one side. But 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And I'll make sure I line that up with the other line so I get it nice and square. So I got 4.5 inches. And then I'm just going to use my rotary cutter to cut it. And we're just going to go just like this. Alright, so we got 4.5 inches cut. Just like this. So next, we are going to, I wrote down my measurements, which I should remember what they are. I wrote down little notes here in my little book, my creation book. So we are going to cut one of them at 5 inches. So you basically need to decide what color you're going to want as your accent and which one you're going to want as your main color. I'm thinking I want this one as the main and see kind of like, and then the other one as a flap. So this dark copper is going to be as a main color, and then this dark brown is going to be as an accent for the flap. So for our main collar, which includes the flap, we are going to cut it at 5 inches. So the flap piece, we're going to cut that at 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. And I am just going to take my ruler here. I'll mark it at 5 inches. So I'll line it up with my lines. So I get it nice and square. And we're just going to cut it off at 5 inches. Just like that. Okay, so this one is cut at 5 inches. Then this other piece that is going to make up the pocket pieces, We're going to cut that at 5 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I have that marked 5 1/4. Yeah, it just goes just past that 5 inch. Go ahead and cut that piece off, and then this is what we have left. See, there's just a little bit difference there. All right, so now our next step. So we have one cut at 5 inches and one cut at 5 1/4. So this is our 5 1/4. We're just gonna kind of fold that over like that. So there's just like 1/4 of an inch over peeking. And this part that's shorter than the other part is going to be our back pocket. And the part that is overlapping this other is going to be our main pocket. And then we take this piece and we're going to take and line it up in there. So we have this. We're going to take that and we're just going to line it up right in there. Just kind of overlap it. Just like that. So basically, this back, like on the pocket, so the back pocket piece is like 2 3/8 of an inch, and the front pocket piece is 2 6/8 of an inch. Okay, so we can just kind of line that up. Have that just a little off. So we have a 2. So we have a 2 inch right here. And then we're just going to fold that up to 3/8 of an inch. Okay. Like that. Then this other piece, I guess my measurements are a little bit off because this one seems a little bit larger, but it's okay. And then this piece here, I'm going to set that in there. And you can kind of decide like how much you want that pocket to be. But you basically want it to be able to hold your cards. And I should have had my clip thing accessible. And see, this card thing is just going to flip over like that, and it's going to be fabulous. So we're just going to take our clips, and we are just going to clip these edges, because I don't want to use pins, because pins just might compromise it a little bit. And I don't want to compromise the integrity of this fabric. Oh, yeah. And with this, it does end up leaving a little bit of an edge. Like on this one, you can tell that there's just a little spot there that is not clipped in there. But that's kind of how I want it. Because it doesn't have to be like butted up right in that curve, that crease. Okay. Alright, so we have it. This is our back pocket. This is our inside pocket piece. And if we just double measure, that main pocket piece is, after we get it folded, is like the 2 and 3 6/8. And that back pocket piece is like, it's showing on my board like it's 2 1/2. So I might have this piece cut a little bit bigger than my last piece, but it's okay. It's all good. So then we're just going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew it up. Go ahead and set these pieces aside here. And I'll pull up my sewing machine. And I just have some brown thread in it at the moment. So we're just going to take it and stitch at like 1/8 of an inch. So my needle is in my left needle position, and with that left needle position, the needle just kind of goes like right where that section is, and then this piece right here is like the 1/8 of an inch mark in my machine. Yeah, this middle line is a 1/8 of an inch mark. So I'm just going to try to follow along that center line with my fabric. And I do make sure I do a back stitch. And then I do twist it around and I make another row right on top of the current one. And that's basically just to give it extra strength to hold that stitching. Because this is going to be a high stress wallet. It's a wallet that is going to be used like all the time. I have like misplaced my scissors. There we go. I found them. Alright. Isn't that looking fabulous so far? Yeah. Alright. Now we're going to sew down this other side. We're just doing that 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. This is like the easiest project ever. I'm glad I finally decided to get it done. Okay, got that sewn, and now I'm going to do another stitch right over the top of it. Alright, now all the stitching is finished, but it doesn't require any more stitching. And I guess since I'm making the second one, I made this one for my sister, but since I am making the second one, I am going to give her a choice. I'll just kind of trim some of that excess off the edge. Now, since I still have this other one available, I am just going to go ahead and line it up on this other piece that I have and just kind of cut out that flat piece. Might as well since I have it available, right? Right. That made it so easy. Then I'll just kind of trim these little spots here real quick. Make it a little more curvaceous for that flap. Alright, so this is almost finished. All we have to do now is we just have to add the snaps. And doesn't that look fabulous? Yes, absolutely. So, I'm going to grab my snaps and I'm going to show you what to do next. So now the only thing I have trouble with is trying to decide what color of snap I want to use. Do I want to use the same color that I used for this? You know? Or do I want to use a different color? I do have some black. Well, this isn't a black. This is more like a dark brown. So I'm thinking for this one, I'll use the dark brown. What a fabulous idea. I have like a whole bunch. These I got from Hobby Lobby on like their Soology 50% off. So like for $1.74 a package. That was a great deal, and that was back in January. So, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and these have the cute little hearts and the circles. So I'm just going to put a heart on that little wallet. And have this cute little heart tab, and then the circle piece that goes on the inside, and then this other piece. So we're going to take this and we're just going to attach our pieces. So we'll just kind of use this as a guideline. So basically, you can just lay it down on your table and kind of measure it out. So after this is all done, it's like the 4.5 inches. And so you'd measure over like 2 1/4 inches. And just measure up and just kind of decide where you want that tab. So it's like right there. And I kind of like take and mark it where I want it to go and do a little pinprick. And then I take it on I do a little prick just like that. And then I take it and throw it on the inside of this. And then I take this flat piece and put it on there. Then I take my snap tool and just press it down. And that first part is already ready. And then you just kind of take this and measure it and decide where you're going to want that flat piece to be. And since it's right there in the center, we're just going to take this and kind of stick it on there where you want it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. And then you just put that on. And you take your snap, and then we're just going to kind of straighten out our heart here, because we kind of want to make sure that heart is, you know, facing the way it needs to face so it's less trouble later. Because it's a bugger to have to try to straighten out that heart after you snap it down. Alright, we got that. Got that tool there and it snapped. And look, it's all finished. How easy was that? Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial of this card wallet. Now let me show you how it works. I have a bunch of cards here. So I have this pile of cards that I usually keep in my front pocket. So I'm just going to take them and I'm just going to throw them in this back pocket here. And those are like my IDs and stuff. Sometimes these snaps are a little difficult to undo. And then I have a bunch of cards that I keep in my zippered back pocket. Well, I'm just going to take those and slide them right in this pocket. Okay, so they're all slid in. And look how fabulous that looks. Wow. Isn't that great? And there is just a little bit of room up here because you don't want it like super tight. But I think it is absolutely fabulous. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay creative. Talk to you next time. Bye.